Hey all, welcome to Behind the Lens for another episode. Today, we interview Insane. Insane, would you like to introduce yourself for everyone who may not know you?
All right, first up, we'll go with the Twitch one because that one is a lot shorter. Hello, everybody. I'm Insane Creatures. I'm a rude, crude, and often lewd kind of dude. How do you do? As for the VRChat one, that's the one that you hear before Murder Mystery each time. Hello, everybody. I'm Insane Creatures. I'm the host you hate the most. If you don't hate me now, you hate me later. If you don't hate me later, I will make you hate me. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make sure you all get along. After all, it's much more fun for me to break the bonds that bind you.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time. As you're aware, we have a mixture of questions, some which I always ask as generic questions, some which are specially to you, and others which have been given in from people within your own community. First question I like to always ask, why did you choose this world?
Oh, this world is quite the peaceful world. It's got nice calming music. You have plenty of scenes that you could switch between. And actually, fun fact, I found this world in a world hop while I was streaming one day, and I got real cozy down in front and almost passed out mid-stream just because of how calming and like perfect this world is. I felt myself falling asleep, so I'm just like, okay guys, I'm gonna end stream here. Everyone have a good night. Logged off, laid back down, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll take a nap.
I mean, that's kind of understandable. You find many of these worlds across VRChat where it's just the entire scenario and setting just hits different. Furthermore, is this your favorite scene of them all, or what kind of scenes do you prefer the most?
I'm a real sucker for red, if you haven't noticed. So, a lot of the more red worlds, the black hole, the lava sea, and so on, are much more dear to me. But, once again, this world is good for its lighting, and also ain't bad to look at. All the crystals, shining, particle effects, and stars you can see in the sky.
Yeah, certainly for sure. It's got a diverse color range, anything from pinks to green, all dotted around, as you can see.
We could see, not as they can see, because
I mean, yeah,
the light's kind of tin out there.
true. Is there any particular reason why red appeals to you most strongly?
Color of passion.
I mean, yes, makes sense.
It's also the color of my favorite flower, the poppy flower.
Yeah. Poppy's got a lot of cultural significance across the world.
And the language of flowers. It's the flower of remembrance.
Yeah, understandable. But how did you get into VRChat?
Oh, God. Okay. This goes back to around 2018-ish. Do you know the Twitch streamer Nags, aka Joey Bagels?
I think I've heard of the name, but that's as far as I've gone.
Well, around that time for me was when I had first gotten my computer, and like a little bit before that, I had been watching a game that was completely new to me at the time, VRChat. I found a streamer in specific who had like a bunch of little VRChat adventures going on. What was the name of the little like yandere girl that was trying to kill him, trying to fight with him? I think it was like Matt 6 or something. Of course, I don't know if these names have become controversial or anything, because I haven't watched them in the longest time. But yeah, back when I did watch that, I saw how much fun like he was having just interacting with other people. And once I got my computer, I got VRChat, hopped in, started just roaming around, adventuring around, and then got hooked in. And not soon after, not too much longer, is when I discovered Murder Mystery too.
I mean, that is the perfect linking on question of what's the story of Murder Mystery? I know you've been hosting for a while. How did you get into it?
Well, so VRChat families happen really fast. One of the first times I was on VRChat was actually when I was hanging out with an old buddy of mine, Odium. Goes by Verum now, I think. I don't know if he still responds to Odium or not. It's been a bit since I caught up with him. But while me and him were hanging out, hopping through Great Pugs, there was this little bee Hapu girl who, when running around, she kept like hanging around me, and I'm just like, stop. I'm not trying to get into a VRChat family. I'm not trying to get a daughter. She looks up at me and goes, Papa. And I'm just like, God damn it. This is how it begins. This is how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the next day when I hopped back into VRChat, she had invited me to Mama Yum Yum. You know her?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think.
she had invited me to her murder mystery game
Mm-hmm.
where her and Shadow Flames were. And then I just fell into murder mystery. The very next day, I decided to start hosting my own games, managed to just pull people together from random worlds and start hosting the games, start making up abilities, start creating new shit. And from there came the Discord server, came new game modes that I'd create, came new roles, all of what is the Insane Asylum today.
Mm-hmm. So very much a pull itself together and learn as you go.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's certainly a risk to Bazaar. On top of that, that also kind of brings on to the why did you create the Insane Asylum? Presumed it was a murder mystery. Is it also for your streaming as well?
The Insane Asylum,
Mm-hmm.
it's turned into a kind of hybrid just hangout server. Like, it is still murder mystery oriented and with things I host, but it's also pulling in those who, like, I meet Twitch side.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are more interested in the Twitch side, some people are more interested in the murder mystery side or just the general hangout and VR chat events. But I definitely say the VR chat side of things are still more supported because that's what it was built up around. The Twitch side is more of a tag along.
Mm-hmm.
And the main reason I created it was because once my games started gaining traction, people would be like, oh, hey, where do we meet up for this? And where do we do for this? When do I know when you're hosting next? And instead of just telling them at the end of my game, hey, I'll be back here tomorrow, usual time, or hey, I'll be back here this Friday, I just ended up setting up the server. Odium helped me getting it to run, even though he kind of fell off towards the end of it, and I just kind of had been making it work.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it started up, and yeah, it became a thing where I was like posting in that I was gonna host just about every day of the week,
Mm-hmm.
just because the job I had at the time was a classified substitute, so just going to help out at elementary schools, middle schools, blah blah blah, and then after 3, I was just free to do whatever for the rest of my day.
Yeah, that's fair. Makes a lot of sense. And I'm aware you do a lot of different styles within your murder mystery. So how do you come up with your little flares which you add, which makes your game unique compared to other hosts or other different styles?
One thing that I do credit myself on, because I know people are like down on themselves for a lot of things, but one thing that I have to give myself credit for is just how fast I can make ideas and get them functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see, Murder Mystery Team mode, where I split people into groups of 3 and they were all joined in together fighting against the rest, was when my games would have like 30 players or so.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, the worlds for Murder Mystery are not meant to contain that amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
They have 16 podiums, like, max. So I started splitting them up, giving them cooperative abilities, giving them cooperative podiums, making like a team captain that would cycle each trial.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all created on that game. Like, on that game that I noticed we had way too many players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of new game modes, I'm gonna have a new one coming out soon, just because I watched a movie that seemed really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not going over too much of the movie, just over the game mode itself. It'll feature a kind of Beauty and Beast system, how the movie had, where there's half killers, half survivors. The killers, however, are linked to one survivor, and if that survivor dies, that killer dies. The killer's objective is to protect their own survivor while also trying to kill the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if killers meet, of course, they'll clash over it.
Are they aware of the survivor they're linked to or not?
The killers are aware of their survivor, but their survivor has no idea who their killer is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. I can see a lot of different dynamics playing in play.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, if we take it back a little bit, what is your current best memory in VRChat?
That is a rough one because there are so many of them.
Name a couple. Whatever works best for you.
All right. Have you heard of Laypip's legendary kill?
In what sense? I might not know about that name, or
It was one of Nuo's murder mystery games that we played on Death Edge. There was a player who, like, I don't know what their deal was. I know that they were on the newer side of things, but they were quite a trouble player. They kept death avoiding, they kept running away. I remember the people, or four of the people we had was me, Lithia Dragon, Gurg, and Pip.
Mm-hmm.
I had, like, assigned Gurg to go kill the trouble player because as a host myself, I know who those troublesome players are, and you recognize it pretty quickly, and you know the game's not going to run well as long as they're around.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Gurg hunt them down, but they just kept death avoiding, kept walking away, kept trying to jump through little teleporters that was on that map. And at that point, Pip's just like, nah, I'll handle it. So Gurg came up to me to complain and saying, I keep trying, but he keeps running away. I'm just like, no, Gurg, it's okay. Pip's got this. And as I was talking to him, we see Pip T-pose flying down through the map with a shovel in his hand, just going, tracking this dude, lands on top of him. You're dead! You can't escape! You're gone! And then he just runs off.
Mm-hmm.
That was the legendary kill.
Then yes, I vaguely remember hearing about this. Yes, but
Yeah, it was so perfect.
mm-hmm. I mean, that's one way to remove a problem player. That's absurd.
There are a couple moments that, just because of the jokes said, weren't entirely appropriate, but you know, it's kind of that mixture of shock and what the fuck that just gets you laughing a lot. Those are a couple good moments to me. I definitely have to bring up Nuo's appreciation world for me. Because it's no secret that my life has been a little bit of a tragedy. And when my brother passed away, around like April-ish is when I kind of get in my own head, get down because of it. Same around September, which is near his birthday. I had been feeling real down lately, just kind of stuck in my own head. You know how things go. And Nuo actually created a full-on We Appreciate You world where there were so many little images down of just everything that we had been through forever. All the memories of the insane asylum, and you know, just pictures from our adventures and stuff. It's really nice and real comforting.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't pick it for the interview is because it would kind of seem a little narcissistic.
I mean, not necessarily. It means, in a sense, it means a lot to you.
We'd have my face posted up everywhere around me, dude. You really want like 40 of me staring at you at a time?
It happens. I mean, it's certainly a world which would also mean a lot to you emotionally, which it's heartfelt in a sense. So
yeah,
I can.
It's still one of the greatest gifts that I've ever received.
I mean, that's kind of what's about those special gifts. But yeah.
Probably the greatest gift now that I really think about it. I haven't had many people who sit down and make something like that for me.
Yeah. No.
But there definitely are other people who have made things for me there. Like Smokey, she made my VTuber model. Orange made this model that you see right now just because I'm just like, I don't want to get into model creation. And VRChat was pushing out that 3.0 and they were, you know, talking like, oh, everything 2.0 and sooner is going to be gone. It's not going to work anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I really don't want to make my avatars again because I'd have to relearn Unity, relearn everything. And then Orange is just like, nah, I got you.
On top of that, how did you kind of come up with your design, in a sense?
Well, one, red.
Well, yeah.
Two, the white hair. And I used to have orange eyes before Mama did my reference sheet. because I also had, like, on my chest there was a heartless symbol from Kingdom Hearts. But obviously, if I went into streaming with a heartless symbol, good old Disney would not be happy with me.
Yeah, you could say
So
that.
yeah, the white hair stayed, the orange eyes turned to red, and the heartless symbol was gone. But the original white hair design was from, I don't know how familiar you are with Kingdom Hearts. When a person falls to darkness, they get the lighter hair and orange eyes.
Okay. A lot of symbolism within
Yeah.
it. But in a sense, it's been kind of morphed into your own personal identity in a way. Is there any reason for the mask and horns, I guess? I don't really know how to describe them.
Well, if we want to get real deep there, the horns are kind of a declaration for hell. Because, not saying that, oh, I worship Satan, I am all for the demons team, I'm gonna fall down and blah blah blah. No, none of that. I very much do believe in God, believe in Christianity and stuff like that. I guess my views aren't entirely Christian though. But this is getting into more of a darker topic of one of the main beliefs in the Bible is that suicide, taking the life that was given to you, taking that, is one of the biggest disrespects you can do to God and is a sin, and that you'd be banished to hell for suicide. I don't agree with that. The whole belief of being on Earth and believing in God and having struggles in your life is God testing you. So why, if you fail that test, if you can't take the struggles, are you being punished for it? For an obstacle he set in your way? And since my brother is the one who committed suicide, it's kind of my declaration of, if suicide is a sin, I'm going to hell to find him. Yeah.
No.
As for the masks are cool.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of quite the fucking transition of, oh, these horns have such a deep meaning, and then mask, nah, they're just cool.
I mean, I can't really argue with the mask statement, otherwise I would be detrimenting myself here, but hey ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought if you were willing to answer it, I was going to ask about the horns because they felt like they had a meaning, but I don't think many people know. In a way, I don't really know.
It's not something I exactly go around proclaiming because I've had many people in my life who oppose that opinion greatly. Some more violently than others.
Yeah.
Some, it just fills them with sorrow at what I said. And of course there are the few who said, if that is the case, if that's really what's happening, I'd gladly walk into hell with you. And I appreciate it. But like at the same time, these are major like commitments in the view of religion, of like condemning yourself, It's not something I want to carry with other people.
Yeah. It's a battle you want to fight by yourself. And you wouldn't want to bring others into it in a way.
Yeah.
That's understandable. So I can respect your decision in that regard. But wow, how do I transition out of this one? Holy shit.
Good luck, fucker.
Well, thank you for helping me out there. I know you have.
No, that's why I try to just switch quickly to masks are cool, because alleviating tension with humor is always something that I try to do.
I mean, on top of that, I know that you have a very strong-spoken and outwards personality, which you use especially in streaming. How did you come about with this?
Honestly, my personality comes from me being done with who I was in about middle school and early high school years. When you're still trying to figure yourself out, trying to fit in, trying to do all that stuff. I figured out very early on that I can get along with anyone.
Yeah.
Really. It doesn't matter who it is. But doing so, I'd have to twist, bend, and just change every aspect of myself to fit in with someone else. And I decided, why am I doing this? Half of these people I'm not going to see outside of school, and the other half are probably just going to disappear as time goes on. I'm changing myself for people who aren't going to stick around.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the one person who is always going to stick around is me. So I just decided, just fuck all that noise. People have followed horrid people in the past and still love them. People have followed godly figures in the past and still love them. I don't need to be either one. I just need to be me, and I'll find the people who love me.
Yeah.
And that's where I am. I don't try to hide aspects of who I am, aspects of what I believe in. I stopped cutting corners and trying to be cushy around people and just being me.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some people who get some exception, who get a bit of a softer hand from me, depending on how their life has been and how much I care for them. But just in general, streaming, that is to an audience full of strangers most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't gotta act like anyone but myself.
Yeah, they're gonna stick for you regardless. And if they don't, they don't anyway. So there's no point.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. On top of that, where do you see yourself in the future of streaming? And then also for the Insane Asylum and with your hosting?
Well, every streamer dreams of making it big. So that's always the goal for any streamer whatsoever. So that one's a pretty easy answer. It's keep streaming, hopefully a lot bigger, hopefully, being able to do a lot more with stream.
Yeah.
As for the Insane Asylum, I've always said I will continue hosting for as long as there are people who want to play. And if people still want to play, then I'll keep hosting. If not, then it'll just be a home for me where anyone can come chill out, can just mingle with the community, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Makes sense. I know you've started to bring back hosting in a sense, since it died off for a little bit.
Yeah, I took a bit of a long break. We had fallen into a bit of a rut, because it just became a bit of a stale thing of, I didn't really have the time back then to go around and look through all the murder mystery maps, so we only really knew of one quest compatible map that was good. And since we had quest players at the time, we got stuck on that map, and it became a cycle of same players, same map, every time. Even if the game modes change, there's still a bit of staleness to it, because we also had people back then who would adamantly refuse to kill in a game, but also wouldn't really participate in trials. It's like they were a spectator, but they were actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work.
Yeah. And following on to that, how do you find you help a game progress and move on? Because especially either with people who struggle to kill or people who might cause issues within it in the game.
Okay, I did talk about this a little bit in Nuo's, her murder mystery session in class and stuff, but I also did bite back on some of my words, because I'm a different host than Nuo is. We do things differently, she does things differently. I'd say that her side of the community is a lot more receptive and amazing in that respect, but on my side, we are a bit harder. It's sink or swim. So when we have a problem player, they get warned. If I've warned them twice, it's time for them to start sinking. Meaning that until they act better, they tend to have a rough time in my games. Whether it's through harsher punishments straight off the bat, whether it's through my players themselves being fed up with their nonsense and just shooting them down, or whether I myself have to get my hands dirty and kill the player myself if they're acting too out of line. Now, this isn't something that always stays like a status quo, because for me that is the last line of, hey, we're showing you all this, we're making things rough on you because we're still giving you that chance of you could be better, you can interact with this community, you can play these games and have much more of a fun time, but you've got to learn we are fed up with you.
Yeah.
Now, if they continue being even more troublesome, that's when they just get kicked out of the server, giving them their last chance. That was their strike 3. But if they improve, they tend to get better. They tend to stick around and, stay around.
Yeah. It's a tough love approach, which is honestly respectable in a sense and can help people better realize, hey, I'm making a mistake. I need to improve. How do I improve? And further.
The more difference we have here is that we are an 18+ server because we are just not out of hatred for kids. There have been issues in the past that I would like to just skip over real quick.
That's
of
fine.
Bad interactions with minors.
Mm.
So, to prevent drama from happening like that, we are just not having children in our server to be safe.
Mm. Yeah. It's to protect the older members.
Because just having them here does invite the older creeps too, and we don't.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I'm 24. When I had to deal with all that situation, I was like 20.
Mm.
I was not equipped to deal with that shit. Besides the block, get out of here, stay gone.
Yeah, it's not something anyone wants to deal with or should deal with, quite frankly. But sadly,
yeah, it's quite a gross thing.
Yeah.
But since I'm not saying anything bad against including children in these games or anything. I'm saying like since Nuo does have children in her games, I get the whole softer approach versus the tough love here. Here we're all fucking adults. I will give you your 2 chances. We'll make life hell for your 3rd strike, and if you can't take that, you're gone. Sink or swim.
Yeah. No, it's a clear-cut policy and it's a clear-cut viewpoint. So it appears to help the game.
It does help us with a lot of troublesome players.
Yeah. Final question of the more specific ones on the stuff you do. Are there any projects you're currently working on?
I did bring up the Beauty and Beast game mode that's going to come out. I just need to polish off a bit more on what the beauties are for. It is that killer and survivor thing. They're just called Beauty and Beasts, like in the movie.
Yeah.
I hate someone having a feeling of powerlessness in my games. I always wanted to make a balance, hey, anyone can kind of move the game, anyone can control the game, anyone can change.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, though, in that Beauty and Beast game mode, it feels like the beauties are more livestock than anything else. And I need to change some aspect to give them something to fight for other than just wait to die.
Yeah.
Other than that, as for projects, I did start getting back into model creation.
Mm-hmm.
And going off of Twitch lore, not Asylum lore, because they kind of integrate while having how's the best way to describe this? Okay, Scott Cawthorn, we'll go with him. You know how the FNAF books and the FNAF games are inspired, have like similar aspects, but they're both their different stories, different directions.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it is with the Asylum lore, which is the murder mystery lore, all the dumb stuff we've done, all the funny stuff we've done, versus the Twitch VTuber lore, because, VTubers all have a bunch of lore lately, and I am no different, especially because I have just ideas constantly running.
Mm.
Going over the spark notes of VTuber lore is the Incubus dragon that you see here is not insane. Insane is the incarnation of insanity that's existed before the Big Bang even happened, before any of that. He bided his time until there was life with suitable mentals, suitable like wavelengths that he could possess and take over and use. So this is vessel number 33 to insane. The very first one, vessel number 1, is Zero, a fallen angel who was tricked, betrayed, and then possessed by Insane. And Zero is the model that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Which, is a far go from the whole horns, tail, lewd of the dragon incubus, you know?
Yeah.
Of course, they're still gonna have white hair, because I'm taking that as a possession aspect, but he's gonna have flecks of black in his hair to show that he wasn't completely taken over.
Mm-hmm. Subtle details.
Yeah.
Understandable. These are some of more of the questions which members in your community in the Insane Asylum have asked themselves. So, this will jump around quite a lot, but have fun with it. First one of them is, do you cook? I'd assume the answer, but there's a second part to it.
Do I cook?
Yeah, do you cook?
I haven't cooked in a while, because my roommate, most people know by now, I've moved in with Laypip. We have our own apartment and everything. When you're living with the god of flavor, he constantly has ideas for, hey, we're gonna do this for dinner, we're gonna do this for supper, this is what we're doing. And I'm just like, okay. And then when he cooks, there's often leftovers. So the next day when he's like, hey, what should we do for supper? I'm just like, bitch, we still have leftovers from last night and the night before that. So I haven't been cooking, mainly because of the amount of leftovers we have and that he just genuinely enjoys cooking.
But if and when...
But yeah, I can cook.
If and when you do cook, is there any meal specialities which you'd like to do or like to have?
I love burritos and tacos, but the one thing that I didn't get to learn to make before moving over here was my mom's lasagna. Because lasagna is no secret, it's my favorite food. But for just general meals, I'm like pretty much a total carnivore. It has to be meaty.
Makes sense.
Not saying I shy away from vegetables or fruits, it's just I prefer there to be meat.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. Now, the question which I mentioned to you before we started hit record, is Mothboy your favorite maniac?
Mothboy isn't even my favorite moth. I don't need to go into details. He's not even my favorite moth. Although, nah, he's a good kid. Well, he's not a kid, but he's still a kid. Because I met him when he was a kid, so he's forever going to be a kid to me.
I was going to say he'll be a kid in your eyes. He'll always be the age you met him.
Same thing with Crow.
Yeah. No, that isn't.
No, although I do have a favorite memory of Moth, just because his what was so genuine. There is a Moth girl VTuber. I forget her name. It might have been like Juniper or Jupiter or something. Made the joke that Moth was one of her kids. I forgot who made the joke, but when someone made that joke, my response was, damn, it looks like Moth's mom is more of a Moth mommy. And just the what that came out of Moth's mouth afterwards was hilarious to me.
I mean, Moth certainly has the one-liners down, if you've ever spent time with him.
I spent a little too much time with Moth. He has started this brain rot meme streak recently that I'm just like, is this me getting old? That these memes are starting to annoy me more than make me laugh?
No, they're brain rot. I can confirm they're definitely brain rot.
God.
And the descent into quite literal insanity, pun not intended, is complete. But
I'm not possessing Moth. It ain't happening.
It might be too late, but here we are. However, another one is, how many boys are there in the showers in Ram Ranch?
I'm not trying to answer this question. I'm more thinking of who the fuck sent this one.
I mean,
who's the dumbass who sent this one in?
I actually don't know because there's no names attached to any of them.
Yeah. Other than that, I've never Is Ram Ranch a book? Is Ram Ranch a place? Or is Ram Ranch a movie? I don't know. I've just heard the like stupid little thing of all the dudes in Ram Ranch or something. I can't recite it. I don't know it.
I don't know it either. I can't even do the accent to get the ranch correct, but you know, I've got too much of a British accent for it.
Whoever sent in that question, I don't know the answer, but you're gonna be joining them soon.
I mean, that's certainly one way to put it. Another thing on a more coherent side, what's your favorite mythical creature?
Ooh. Damn it, dude. Why do you gotta go with these favorite ones that are so hard to pick?
Yeah, well, it'd be like that.
Because if we're going by pure creepiness alone and like how scary it would be to actually face off against one, it would definitely be the Wendigo. The whole shape-shifting hunger for hunts and the intelligence of a Wendigo is utterly, utterly horrifying.
Yeah.
But also, of course, you got, you know, the more fantasy type of creatures of just a dragon is straight up one of the coolest fucking things.
Yeah. It just is.
God. There's so many different creatures. I can't really pick a favorite out of them.
I mean, that's completely fair. It's favorite questions are notoriously difficult unless it's like a quite black and white. So it's never as easy.
Like favorite food, easily lasagna. But favorite creature, favorite movie. Well, actually, movies are quite simple for me too. But like, oh my god. Yeah, I guess we'll go with somewhere between a Wendigo and a dragon for a favorite.
I mean, what if you had a hybrid fusion of the two? That would be fucking terrifying, but you know.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not have that happen. No, let's not. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I mean that's quite a clear answer in of itself. On top
of that, the last thing a Wendigo needs is the power to fly and breathe fire, because one of the whole things about a Wendigo is, hey, fire's gonna save you. But the whole thing about a dragon is fire will not save you.
You know, that's, yeah.
You will just create the perfect being.
I mean, we might have discovered the perfect being, but here we are.
God.
Well, ungodly horrors, need I say more? On top of that, these are a couple back to more of the community and community side of it. What do you think makes your community stand out amongst the others?
That is a tricky question, because everyone feels their community is special in a certain way. When really you could find another community that's like it. Not exactly it, because different people.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll have to rephrase the question to what's so good about my community instead of what makes it stand out. Because we're just a home of chill people. We aren't really prejudiced against anything. Damn, that was a weird way to say prejudice, but whatever. But we don't really judge you based on what you are, what you identify as, what views you have, unless, you know, it's things along the more illegal lines of, you know, the people we threw out of the server for certain reasons.
Yeah, obviously.
But other than that, as long as you keep your nose clean and you're not trying to stir up trouble, we'll pretty much accept you. It doesn't mean, by me saying we'll accept you, does not necessarily mean I will accept you, because I'm not trying to be everyone's best friend anymore. There are definitely some people who I have my favorites, some people I would rather not interact with. There's definitely that line there. And some people like to push that line, but I'm not going to make the entire server, the entire community hate you just because you wanted to get closer to me and I didn't want you to get closer to me. That's one of the things. I don't have to love you if you're in my community, but I'm not gonna hate you for just trying to be a part of my community. I'm not gonna dislike you for trying to be a part of my community. It's either,
Yeah.
you're chill or you're gone. So a lot of people in my server are just especially chill just because we're just trying to do our own things, really.
Mm.
We like to hang out, we like to have fun. Of course, we'll care for you if you're going through some shit. But at the same time, if you're starting that shit, that's where you start to fall off.
Yeah. And I mean, it is understandable. Not everyone is everyone's cup of tea. That's just life.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely have people who drain the fuck out of my battery, but at the same time, it's not like I'm gonna hate them for it. Of course, I may choose to spend less time with them over like hanging out with someone who's not a drain on me at all, or someone who even helps me recharge.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean, because one of the things I've noticed, people think I'm a lot more intimidating than I actually am. Especially with first impressions, I've had people who are just like, oh, you're kind of scary. Oh, you're kind of hard to approach. You're kind of hard to talk to and confront. Meanwhile, those who have actually gotten closer to me and know me, they're just like, nah, Insane's a total bitch. Hey, Insane! Huh? Fuck you! Huh? That's... I don't get why so many people are so scared to really come confront me or really talk to me about any issues they might have with me, but, I'm not trying to please everyone anymore.
I mean, I think that's probably half the point, is you're not here to please people. People are here to either they'll stick or go. And the entire aura that brings around you, and I've seen it with other people as well, is of the I don't give a fuck unless I do, can make it almost awkward for people to try and approach towards things. If that might...
Yeah.
But again, it's a very situational basis of a point, so it might be that, but I can't be ever sure.
I don't know. Some people are just weird. I'm definitely weird. Some people are weird.
Yeah, well, that's just life. However, on top of that, what is your favorite memory of hosting in VRChat?
Hit me with these favorites. You know how hard it is for a person who's hosted for like 5-6 years to pick?
Listen, these aren't my questions anymore. This is your community.
Yeah. Oh, God, there's so many good ones.
Name a few.
Because there have been... All right. Just going in to name a few. Hard to Follow's Rampage.
Uh-oh.
Had a dude named Hard to Follow. He's really good friends with Orange Phantom, one of the higher ups in the server. During that game, I think it was one of the first games that he's played of mine, or at all. I made him and Orange blood brothers. One, because their bond, he was going to help him learn the game, and that. But two, because it'd be fucking funny for me to screw them over later on. Anyways, this is more towards the later end of the game, because I tend to save the killing punishments for later on. Later, Follow had broken one of my rules, so I took him to the punishment room and told him to kill Orange. He didn't like that. Not in the, oh, Insane, you're not making this game fun for me anymore. In a, oh, we are in semi-RP, not really in the point where we all have our characters, all that, but because of the role you gave me, I was supposed to be with him till the end, and now you're making me kill him. So it was fun. Anyways, he kills Orange. Orange's body is laid up against the wall, like, just like that. And then he just, like, continues going on. Meanwhile, I'm back to the dining room talking to two people who I was taking through with, like, morning announcements, after the fact stuff. And then one of my Kumas comes in saying, hey, Insane, we have a problem. As I see, like, Follow run in, kill someone who was standing on the wall, run back out, and just running around. I'm just like, what? Huh? So I go start walking around the map, and there's bodies everywhere.
Ah.
Oh my god.
I've heard that one before.
After he killed Orange, he went on a fucking rampage and just started slaughtering people before I caught him. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? So that's definitely one of my favorite memories.
I've seen that one before. It's fucking terrifying as a host.
Another one was I was in the boys' dorm at night, keeping track of who's in what dorms and everything. I think it was me and Pip talking.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys' dorm was full, like full. And as me and Pip are talking, he just turns to the left to someone, "Hey, you're dead," and then continues talking to me. And I'm just like, and the rest of the guys in the dorms are all just chatting away. And I'm just like, okay. So I just left, and then I came back and claimed the body. No one knew it was Pip. No one knew.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all I have as a response to that is welcome to murder mystery. It's fucking anything can happen, and it goddamn will do.
Yeah, like Crow kicking one of my sons in the nuts after I said, "Hey, Crow, hold on, why'd you do that? You can't just kick someone's in the nuts." And Crow posing up and just going, "Yeah, I'm a bit of a rule breaker." That's also a short, funny memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and any moment in a murder mystery game where you actually scare someone and make them scream, that's precious to me. One of the things I used to do was work in haunted houses, and oh my god, I absolutely love making people scream.
Yeah.
And the last one I'll bring up was one that I brought up on Nuos.
Mm-hmm.
It was of a couple who had joined my game, and oh my god, I just love to fuck with people. You know, I see why people call me a sadist. But anyways...
Only now?
While they were playing, they were, like, hanging out in the kitchen, just hugging each other, being, you know, couple shit, and I just walk up to them with a fork, and I was like, huh. It'd be real funny if, just dropped it next to them. It'd be real funny if one of you grabbed that and killed the other with it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the guy's just like, "Oh, no, she's my girlfriend. We're totally not gonna kill each other, blah, blah, blah. We love each other." Meanwhile, the girlfriend had picked up the fork and she's like, "Huh, it would be kind of funny. You're dead." And then she ran away, and I was just about howling.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing that. I mean, you find a lot of these stories, especially in murder mystery, and especially when people take it not seriously, and it's just a fucking joke for people to piss around. These things will naturally just occur. But I mean, that's a sweet part of life, eh?
Yep.
What are the fucking? Oh fuck! It's this question. How many, if any, rocks have you eaten in this past week?
Why do I feel like that's a Mina question?
I genuinely have no fucking clue, but you know, you're probably
I know
right.
you have no idea because it was anonymous.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like that might have been a question that Mina asked.
Well, I mean, have you eaten any rocks?
Are you a cop?
No.
Then mayhaps.
How many?
Are you a geologist?
No, I'm an engineer.
Then you wouldn't be able to tell.
Shit. I've been skill checked. Fuck. My only weakness. Well.
No, but on a, I guess, semi-related note, you know those Japanese carbonated drinks, the ramune?
Oh, yeah.
However it's pronounced?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, me and Pip did see that in the stores, and we said, "Fuck it, let's try it." But afterwards, we did smash the glass bottles and take the marble out and keep it.
I would too. I fucking did as well. It's worth it.
Marble.
Yeah, marble. Do I need any other?
Marble. I like the marble.
Marble is fucking funny. Yeah, no, I have done the same in the past. They're actually really well shaped and great fucking ornaments.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and just like how they look too. It's just guys are easy to please. Guys are easy to please. Just give us a cool looking rock, and we're good.
Yeah, no, that is actually probably the most true thing I mean, that says a lot. The most true thing I've heard all day, and that says a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Lord knows who asked this, and Jesus, they need fucking God. But any Pokemon you'd smash?
How much time you got?
As much time as you need.
um,
Probably about 2.5 hours.
God damn it. God damn it. I feel like... Shit, was that the Mina question, actually? I don't know.
I mean, they could have asked
How many
multiple.
questions can someone submit? Fuck,
Technically
okay.
infinite. Technically infinite. I didn't pronounce
Actually, I
it.
could see that being a neppy question, too.
Uh-huh.
Any Pokemon I'd smash?
That was the question.
Well, there is a simple principle in life that I heavily believe in.
Mm-hmm.
For a man to fuck anything, all it needs is wide enough hips and a decent enough, like, torso. Whether that's big boobs, small boobs, whatever the fuck someone's into, go for it. However, I will not go into how many Pokemon I'd smashed. I will just simply say I am not immune to this rule.
Oh.
And Jinx.
Oh.
I'm completely kidding. I would not smash a Jinx. I would not smash a Jinx. Oh my god.
Oh. I mean, I was just in stunned silence for a second.
You see, that's kind of the whole reason why I love the whole Incubus side of things, is because a lot of the lewd shit I say I don't actually believe in. Like, the whole mommy thing, those jokes, or the funny thing of, well, I'm not a sub, but bark bark, all that shit, I don't actually believe it.
Yeah.
But is it funny? Does it catch people off guard so they just sit there going like, oh, yes. And I love those fucking moments. So, of course, Down Bad can shock people and make it really funny. Orange is a riot to hang out with. I try not to do, like, any serious of, oh my god, that's so good. I try to just do pure joking shit with him, because he doesn't fully enjoy, like, lewd aspects of anything.
Yeah.
But his responses are always fucking funny. To just straight up, dude, I'll just kill you right here. I'm gonna kill you right now. And, god, it's funny.
Well, I mean, yeah. how do I fucking respond? How do I take this? What the fuck do I do?
And banking that moment.
Fair enough. Like, shit.
I'm just wondering who's the fucker who asked that.
Flip a coin, and if it lands on its side, that's your answer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, will the Pokemon Smash or Pass, and all the previous questions, will it be on the test?
That's Crow.
I mean,
that's Crow 100% or 95%. There's
No.
a 5% chance that that's someone else taking Crow's bit.
No, it was Crow, because I saw it. I immediately DM'd Crow, and I called her out. But yeah.
Crow, it is all on the test, and you failed.
I'm sorry, Crow. I'm sorry.
Gonna have to retake Monokuma school.
Fuck. Shit, that's a fate worse than death. That's just cruel, but fair play. Now, why are you such a nerd? Sorry, I need to emphasize this correctly. Why are you such a nerd? Oh, I'm not high enough energy to emphasize the full extent, but
There's so many people that could have come from. Why am I such a nerd? Because I did good in school, I guess.
Shit, you're right. Got a point. Makes sense. What music genre and or song can you not stand in the slightest?
Songs that are purely about drinking, fucking, all that shit.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, I fucked your bitch, I'm gonna fuck her too, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Or I pull this much shit, or just genuine, blah, 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 blah. You're rubbing off on me. Your fuck-ups are rubbing off on me.
Well, fuck you.
Anyways. Just songs that don't really have any meaning, you know? That it's purely just filth. shoved in your face. And that's coming from me.
The
who,
irony.
On stream, has talked about fucking a grenade.
Ayo.
Listen, there's a small little story to that, which is going back to that rule of if something has wide enough hips and a nice enough bust, a guy will fuck anything. Going further into that of, dude, a guy would like give a tree a chance if it approached him. Someone had said that during one of my Slime Rancher streams, and it was like, a fucking tree? No, a guy would give a grenade a chance if it approached him first. And then I was hanging out with Pip, Animus, I think Bernard too, while I was still playing that, and then we started going into it and being like, God damn, and fucking Pitch just like, you know what, brother, thinking back to that grenade statement, I could just imagine a grenade approaching me just, you know, taking a puff of cigar and going like, yeah, I do it. And then I was like, and you guys are just walking to the bedroom as fucking Freebird starts playing in the background. As you're walking through, all you hear is, I'm as free as a bird now. And when the climax hits, it goes to that, and I can't change, as an explosion just blows you out of the fucking room.
What?
Oh my god. That's one of the fucking golden clips that I have on stream.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking what the no fucking shit. I'm kind of glad I get back to my own questions, which I like to wrap things up with, because my sanity has not. Oh, I mean, it was non-existent to begin with. I fucking host Murder Mystery. Aside from that,
yeah, and it's just gonna get worse when you're hanging around with, you know, Insane himself.
it'd be like that. There's nothing we
That's
can do.
also why some people like my Murder Mystery games. It definitely throws you for a fucking loop.
Yeah, but like that's kind of funny.
Yeah. The biggest rule I have with hosting is it entertaining and is it funny?
Exactly. The bit is always there. You just gotta take it.
Yeah.
However, I've got a couple last questions, which I like to wrap things up with. Is there any dream passion projects you would like to do?
Dream projects. Something that would be ideal. I mean, an IRL murder mystery would be fucking dope.
Yo, no shit.
Getting all that planned out. But that also involves, like, getting people together for a con or something and then actually renting out a place or having my own house that's big enough for all that to happen. God, there are so many things. Because if that Beauty and the Beast game mode works out well enough, I could also see it being made into its own thing of a just VRChat minigame map. Of course, getting... What is it? It slipped my mind. Gone. It's gone. It left. It started and it's just like, actually, I'm about to check out.
You know, it'd be like that. If it comes to you, it comes to you, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So, you live with that.
I'm just gonna avoid making the lewd joke there. Don't know.
No,
PG. I need to keep things on your
go fucking nuts. I'm swearing all the time because I don't give a shit.
I've already been cursing up a storm, and I didn't even check with you first. I'm just like, should I be saying these things? Fuck it. Already full sale. He can bleep me if he wants to.
I'm British. I naturally swear a lot, and I filter very little. I filter enough to where I have to. That's my rule of thumb, is I'll filter enough to where I have to, and if not, cry about it.
Fair enough.
But on top of that,
that was another reason why we don't have kids in the server anymore, is just so that we could be as unfiltered.
Yeah. Unfiltered fucking shit. Yeah. No.
When you're making these jokes and then you turn the corner and see a kid approaching, you're just like, damn it, gotta be responsible.
Responsibility? The fuck have I heard of that? Nah. Don't clip that. Sorry, for legal reasons. However, however, who has or is inspiring you to do what you do?
For streaming, it's definitely been my brother to keep streaming. Because one memory that sticks with me and is the reason why, no matter how things go, I'm not gonna give up on streaming, whether it's a main focus or a side focus, whatever. It was the memory of my first Twitch paycheck, where I was bright-eyed and excited over getting this because, streaming, making money from playing video games is something that is not easily achievable, but it can happen. You just got to work for it. And when I got that, I was so excited, just showing around being like, hey, look, I'm valid, pretty much. Little known to me, though, my brother had actually talked to my mom about him picking up a second job so that I could, purely focus on streaming and not so much as working the job and streaming at the same time. And I'm not saying that would have been a good idea for me at the time. But just the fact that he was willing to do that, just the fact that he was willing to go on to show how much he believed that, hey, you can do this, you can make it, stuff like that, has not let me give up. And sometimes it seems like a curse, sometimes a blessing, but it is my reason for continuing to stream, continuing to go on.
Yeah.
I need to try harder, though, because I could definitely be spreading to other media platforms. It's just a matter of headspace.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing for hosting, as I said, as much as I'm not a people pleaser, I do enjoy entertaining. Hosting is entertainment. And as long as someone wants to play, I'll continue to host. Just because it does fill me with joy to be able to make these events and make them happen and make them fun. So that's an inspiration in itself.
True.
The people who play are my inspiration.
Yeah. Very heartfelt. So that's understandable.
God, I'm gonna have to be rougher on everyone next Murder Mystery game because I'm being too heartfelt for this.
I'm not sorry in advance. I'm not sorry in advance.
Especially if they watch this, they're gonna be like, insane, you're saying such sappy stuff on there. Oh, you care about us and stuff. I'm just gonna have to have a weapon on me at all times and just be like, die.
When's the next game?
I could probably do next Saturday.
Fuck, I need to get it out before next Saturday.
I stopped hosting this week and then last Saturday because of IRL troubles and stuff that really just took me out of. It was one of the very few times where I actually got angry again. Because some people have been like, oh, insane, you're getting angry. No, I'm getting annoyed. There's a difference. When I'm genuinely angry, it's not a good idea for me to be around anyone who isn't close to me. Because there are definitely people who are signed up for that game that if they annoyed me even once, I would have blown up on them. And that's not fair to them. It's not.
Yeah, it's personal problems.
I don't have many times that I get angry, so it doesn't really come up, and it pisses me off to cancel stuff because of it, but it wouldn't have been fair to the players, so...
No, that's fair. And, I mean, to be honest, it's a sign of a good host. It's to know your limits. So, but final question I will ask to wrap things up. Is there anyone you would suggest for me to interview in the future?
Depends on what kind of clientele you want.
Anything. Any person you find interesting, or anything, any person you think should show themselves to other people and be like, hey, this person is really interesting, maybe not so much talk about it, but honestly, I'm happy with anyone. I will talk to anyone.
As much as I give Pie shit, Pie's a really interesting guy. I feel like he'd make for a good interview. Good guy, Pie?
Yep.
Yeah, you know him.
I do.
He'd probably make for a really good interview.
I could certainly look into that and see.
Other than that, I'm also trying to think of who would have the free time for it. I'm pretty sure you've already interviewed Crow, right?
Yeah, I talked to Crow.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how an interview with Moth would go. That sounds like it'd be a shitpost in itself.
Brain rot. I love Moth, but brain rot.
Yeah, probably. Probably. The funniest shit though would be like, I don't care if you put this in the video or not, but the funniest shit would be if you interviewed Moth and asked him nothing but like scientific questions, like quantum physics and shit like that. That would be so fucking funny. Ugh.
I might have an idea. I might have an idea. But we'll let that one be. But
Yeah.
unless you have anyone else to mention, which actually not. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed. Thank you, Insane, for your time. I know we've been...
No problem. Thanks for having me.
It's more than appreciated. And I wish you all well. Have a great... Fuck, I fucked up my own thing. I'm going to cry.
Bye-bye.